In my latest video, I showed you how to build these 5 microfarms behind me. And today I'm going to show you how to build the cocoa bean farm. We're going to start with this part being the front here. So we're going to place in a deployer facing upward, a hopper going into it, and then we're going to place in a shaft to the side and a shaft above this hopper connected with a belt. We're going to place in a depot on the end of this belt and then a hopper going into it from the top. We're then going to get our output chest, which is going to be a barrel with our andesite funnel facing into it. Next, we're going to get in our bone meal deployer. So we're going to place in a temporary block. I'm using a deployer as the temporary block. We're going to place our deployer here in this little spot facing towards this item hopper. We're going to have hoppers going into the back of it, 2 in total, and this is where our bone meal source is coming in from. We're going to get a threshold switch on top of this item belt, and we're going to need to set it to, again, the lowest possible thing that you can do. If you're in the newer version where you have the numbers, just set this to 1 and this to 0, and you should be good. Next, we're going to need to connect all these things together. So first we need to right-click this to have it inverted, and then we're going to place a gearbox connecting that to currently nothing, but soon an encased chain drive. That encased chain drive is then going to connect up to the belt, which is then going to rotate again, and we can connect another gearbox to connect it up to the deployer here. The final thing we have to do is put in the braking system and I suppose the actual jungle log itself. So we're going to place in our jungle log here and then a sticky piston on top of it. We're going to place a block above the sticky piston, and then we're going to place blocks the entire way along here in a 2x4 area. Right next to the piston here, we're going to place it in a half slab. It should be a top slab. And we're going to place redstone going all the way along the way here. Directly on top of this bone meal spot, we're going to place in a block of redstone with a power latch coming out of it. Then we're going to place in a pulse extender set to just the normal 2 ticks, a pulse repeater set to 28 ticks, and then another pulse extender set to the normal 2 ticks. If you now pass a power source over to this powered latch, it should start the process. You could also just break and replace this block of redstone. That should then start this process here. And if we give this thing power, and I suppose a cocoa bean, I'm just gonna put it in this hopper here, and we should see that this deployer is getting more cocoa beans by the second.